On day 1, I spawned in as a baby spider monkey.
Ooh, ah! Spider, spider!
I may not have 8 legs, but I did have 8 hearts. I was looking at the beautiful glow shrooms around me when a crimson portal opened up and out stepped a powerful wizard.
I, the Supreme Court, do decree that you are in violation of the laws of this overworld. Your punishment will be sudden and merciless.
Wait, I just got here. There must be some sort of misunderstanding.
The Supreme Court makes no mistakes. Prepare for death by Snow Leopard.
The Supreme Court stepped back through his portal and vanished. Huh? What did he mean by... Whoa, is that a snow leopard? Before I even knew why, I was being chased across the Glowshroom Bayou by a ravenous snow leopard.
Get back here, you criminal scum! In the name of the Supreme Court, I shall punish you!
Oh yeah? What if I ran into this area of slightly more clustered trees?
Stop! Don't! I would never be able to find you in there!
But I didn't listen to the snow leopard that was trying to get me. I ran into the trees and hid myself away. The snow leopard searched for a little bit, but then gave up and ran away. I decided to spend my first night safe in one of the trees. I got lucky today, but as long as the Supreme Court thinks I've broken his rules, a deadly fate will await me. I need to find out what the laws are around here, and fast! On day 2, I said hello to a brand new biome known as the Forest Fault. There were plenty of trees to punch for wood, and when there's wood, there's everything I need to craft a wooden pickaxe, and where there's a wooden pickaxe, there's everything I need to mine some stone, and where there's well, you get it. I can make myself stone tools now. Those stone tools were a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. You just can't beat the classics. Aside from the wood and stone, the Forest Fault had plenty of bananas for me to eat. It's a banana bonanza! After getting a taste of those sweet, sweet bananas, I decided to build a super duper spider monkey base right here in the Forest Fault. I began with a strong wooden foundation and then built the walls up from there. Just as I started working on the inside, the same snow leopard from yesterday showed up right outside my base.
Hey you, spider monkey! It's punishment time, so says the Supreme Court.
Thinking quickly, I devised a genius misdirection. What? I'm not a spider monkey, I'm a scorpion monkey. I've never seen a spider.
My mistake. Please return to your building, Mr. Scorpion Monkey.
The snow leopard loped away, and for now, I was safe. But that definitely wouldn't work a second time, so I committed to furnishing a nice interior to at least feel cozier in case the snow leopard came back. On day 3, I went to the flowering ancient forest to gather all the coolest ancient materials for my spider monkey base. You know, there sure is a lot of trackless wilderness around for an overworld ruled by a Supreme Court, whatever a gourd is anyway. While I reflected on the absurdity of my life, I was attacked by a mummified mob with a nasty sword. He hit me once and took away 4 hearts. Ow! What was that for?
You, spider monkey, this flowering ancient forest belongs to me, the Desert Lord.
Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't you be in charge of a desert somewhere?
I am in charge of a desert, but it's more like a metaphorical desert. Desert of the real. Know what I mean?
I couldn't possibly hope to.
And for that, you must perish.
The Desert Lord came at me with his blade. I knew that one more attack would spell my doom, so I tried to run. Oh no, I'm not fast enough. He'll catch me. Just then, another figure stood in the way of the Desert Lord and blocked his attacks, taking no damage whatsoever.
Still picking on the weak, I see. You disgust me, Desert Lord.
Yeah, well, you're not the Lord of anything, Amadeus.
Wow, that was lame. Go home already.
The Desert Lord left, seemingly embarrassed by how lame his own comeback was. Once he was gone, the new guy turned to me and said,
I am Amadeus, the Armorer. Allow me to travel with you, puny spider monkey. I will give you what you need to defend yourself.
Why does everyone keep calling me puny? But okay, sure. I left the flowering ancient forest and let Amadeus come with me. From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my base and built a specialized workshop for Amadeus the Armorer.
Rightio, little Zozo. Now, as for what I promised, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I've got all the materials right here.
It's Zozo, actually.
Well, I am an armorer, so take a wild guess.
What do you plan on crafting? Is it armor?
You'll see soon enough, but for now, you must be patient.
I waited it out as Amadeus crafted the mysterious item that would help me protect myself. While I was outside, the Supreme Gort Snow Leopard showed up again, and it seems like he meant business.
Freeze, criminal scum! I'm here to eat you up!
No, please! I still don't know what law I broke.
What? No, not you! I'm talking about the illegal armorer that is being harbored inside your base.
Do you mean Amadeus? But he's a good guy.
That armorer is a criminal, and criminals get fed to me.
I ran back inside the base to warn Amadeus, who had just finished up the specialty item.
Equip this, Zozo. It'll help you face the snow leopard.
I did as Amadeus said, and equipped the armor. It was a Titan's Shroud chestplate, no doubt one of the most illegal armors in existence. I went back outside and drew my stone sword to frighten off the snow leopard. Hey, get out of here. Go on, get out of here.
No can do, ruffian. I'll devour you, along with that contraband armor you're wearing.
The snow leopard charged at me, and I had no choice but to defend myself. I managed to scare off the leopard, living to fight another day. But what was I going to do now? I was officially a criminal, and my only friend Amadeus was also a lawbreaker. This is gonna be one tough adventure. From day 6 to day 8, I decided to begin indulging in my criminal lifestyle by rustling some sheep. I don't even know if this is a real crime, but in any case, I'm gonna do it anyway. Sometimes, when you're persecuted on trumped up charges, it just leaves you with nothing to lose. Just like the Supreme Gort was about to lose his sheep. Or at least I assume they're his. I lured the sheep back to my forest vault base. Here, I could shear them and use their wool to make t-shirts with subversive messages. Yeah, that'll show him.
You'll show me nothing, you worthless little rapscallion!
I turned and saw that the Supreme Gort had appeared behind me. He was carrying a terrifying new sword.
Do you like my new legally obtained weapon, Zozo? It's called the Gort Sword. I stole it from someone I had executed.
Wait, how can it be legally obtained and stolen?
Simple. When the Supreme Gort does it, it's not illegal.
That's not fair.
Correct, but it is legal. So say I, the Supreme Gort.
We started fighting after that, and with his crimson sword, he was truly formidable. I was fast and furious. I got a decisive hit on him, destroying the Supreme Gort. Oh my goodness, did I just defeat the big bad guy? This has got to be a personal best for me.
More like a personal worst, criminal.
I turned and saw that the Supreme Gort was standing right behind me. That's impossible. I just defeated you.
There's still so much that you don't know, Zozo.
Terrified that my greatest foe had come back from the dead, all I could do was turn and run. From day 9 to day 10, I laid low at my base with Amadeus the Armorer. I didn't tell him about the freakiness of the Gort's revival, but I was having second thoughts about the criminal life. Being hunted for a crime is bad enough, especially one I didn't do.
Think of it this way, Zozo. If the rules are so unfair that only one person benefits, breaking them by accident is a consequence of those same rules.
That's very reassuring, Amadeus.
I'm here to defend you when you can't defend yourself, little buddy. And also, to build things. Check it out.
Amadeus showed me pieces of the statue he was working on, and it made me feel a lot better about how things were going. Can you tell what the statue is going to be?
If you think that's impressive, wait until you see the rest of my handiwork.
Sure enough, the entire base had been upgraded thanks to Amadeus the Armorer's hard work and diligence. A training room for me to practice my self-defense moves. There was now a storage room for armor and other equipment, and a furnace room in case the life of a cold-hearted criminal ever becomes too chilly. Wow. For a career rule breaker, Amadeus sure is reliable. I think I trust him enough to tell him about the Supreme Gort being able to come back to life. From day 11 to day 12, I told Amadeus about the Supreme Gort coming back to life. He seemed overall really calm about it, as if he knew something I didn't. I, however, was still losing my marbles. How can a guy just respond like that? Isn't it cheating the very rules of the Overworld?
The Supreme Gort has access to many abilities that we might find unnatural, and that includes the fact that he has 9 lives.
9 lives? What is he? A cat?
Actually, he was once 9 separate Gorts that combined to form a single Supreme Gort. You have to defeat him 9 times for it to stick.
That sounds like a whole lot of work.
Sure does, which is why most people never even try it. Most of us who have been sentenced to execution have decided to live our lives on the run. Or, you know, in stationary hideouts, but the principle stands.
How many times has the Gort been thwarted before?
That's the neat thing, little buddy. I have no idea. If somebody's keeping track of it, it's probably someone a lot closer to the Supreme Gort than we are.
Darn. You Gort to be kidding me. I guess I'll have to hold off on fighting the Supreme Gort until I know more about his 9 lives and how many he has left. From day 13 to day 15, I went back to the flowering ancient forest to see if I could get any information out of the Desert Lord. He's another strong guy with a noble title of ambiguous importance. Surely he must know something about the Supreme Gort. It didn't take long for the Desert Lord to discover me in his territory. He came up to me with that powerful blade, but this time I was wearing my Titan Shroud chestplate, so I was a little bit less worried about my heart.
You dare to return to my desert without permission? I will smite thee with my sand sword.
No smiting will be necessary. I'm only here to see if you know anything about the Supreme Gort. He sorta has it out for me, and I'm looking for a way to defeat him. A look of fear suddenly crossed the Desert Lord's face.
Not the Supreme Gort. He's the most powerful Gort in the entire Overworld. And what he says goes no matter what. Even my desert isn't safe from his laws.
Okay, I take all that to mean that you don't have any idea on how to defeat him?
I do not. And the fact that you thought you could waltz into my desert and demand such a crazy request from me is enough to make me want to destroy you. In fact, I think I will.
If you insist, I won't run away this time. I can defend myself now. We fought, and I was really impressed by how well my armor managed to do against his attacks. With my own stone sword, I fought back as hard as I could, while my hearts were being chipped away slowly. My spider monkey reflexes made me way quicker, and soon enough, the Desert Lord was vanquished. Difficult battle brought on powerful change, and I grew into a regular spider monkey. I am a baby no more. I felt my total number of hearts increase to 20, and I gained the ability to shoot black energy blasts. The power of both spiders and monkeys flows within me. I don't know what that means, but it sure does sound cool. From day 16 to day 19, I went mining down in the caverns below my base. I heard that sometimes criminals have to go underground to avoid the law, and I guess I'm doing that now, just with more iron ore. My search for iron to craft new weapons took me deep beneath the surface, so deep that I even accidentally uncovered the tomb of an ancient pharaoh. He rose from his sarcophagus and came after me with all the fury of, well, a guy who was just trying to rest in peace.
How dare you disturb my millennia of tranquil slumber?
I'm so sorry, Lord Pharaoh, sir. I was just searching for iron ore, and I didn't even know you were here. I'll leave your tomb, and I'll even seal it back up.
You know what? You broke the rules, but did immediately say you were sorry and tried to fix things. That makes you A-okay in this Pharaoh's book. I'm going back to sleep instead of punishing you. Don't forget to seal the tomb on the way out.
Wow, you're surprisingly forgiving. I wish more of the authority figures up in the overworld were like you. After I had left and sealed the Pharaoh's tomb, I found an iron ore vein that provided me with enough material to upgrade both my sword and my pickaxe. From day 20 to day 22, I was returning home to my base after a long day of living on the lam. This life can be stressful, but nothing worth doing has ever been easy.
How very philosophical, Zozo. I'll carve it into your tombstone after your execution.
I turned and saw that it was him, the Supreme Gort.
It's come to my understanding that you know my secret now, Zozo. That's highly illegal, and you'll have to be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
You'll never get away with this, Supreme Gort. You can't make all these decisions without consulting anyone else. It has to end.
And? I'm sorry to tell you, Zozo, but the Supreme Gort is a lifetime appointment. Time to bring your lifetime to an end.
We engaged in another battle, but this time I was far stronger than before. With my enhanced weapon skills, as well as my energy beams, I was able to get him on the ropes. Supreme Gort, I contest your decisions. With another strike, he was destroyed. But Then I realized that was all just another part of his plan. He appeared behind me, respawning almost instantly, and badly injured me with a surprise attack. You can't have more than 7 lives left now, Supreme Gort. I already defeated you twice now.
Correct, but I only need to best you once, Zozo.
But before he could destroy me, Amadeus the armorer ran out, ready to fight on my behalf.
If you're so tough, try taking on 2 of us, Gort.
So many lawbreakers. I'll let it slide for now, but soon enough, I'll return and bring the full fury of my power upon you law-breaking miscreants.
With that, he disappeared. It was the only time so far that I'd seen him truly afraid. From day 23 to day 26, I was hanging out in my storage room, seeing if I could craft something cool out of all the random pieces of junk that Amadeus had left around. Oh, these pieces look kind of weird, but I wonder what they'd do if I fused them together. My experiment was worthwhile because the pieces allowed me to create an awesome Tarantula Hocolytra, a special armor piece that gave me the ability to fly. This is gonna be so useful at escaping the Supreme Gort and his evil minions. And if you want to escape boredom, you've gotta search Zozo to find all my other awesome Minecraft adventures. From day 27 to day 31, I decided to fly over to Amadeus and show him the new gear I'd made.
A Tarantula Hocolytra. Genius! You're something of an armorer yourself, it seems, Zozo.
Thanks, Amadeus. I learned it all from you. And hey, having the right materials always helps too.
Right you are, Zozo. Speaking of which, I need some materials for the statue. Would you mind swinging by the Crimson Gardens and finding me some nether wart blocks? I'd go myself, but there are some people in that area who aren't big fans of mine.
Absolutely, Amadeus. I'll get right on it. Using my new gear, I flew to the nearest portal and made my way to the Crimson Forest, ready to collect exactly what Amadeus needed. Yikes, I don't want to spend too much time here. It's giving me an eerie vibe. And there was a good reason for this. A gang of snow leopards seemed to be waiting for me.
Oh, perfect! We were just getting hungry. Glad you're here, lawbreaker.
I'm not here to break the law. I'm here to collect some materials for my friend.
Collect, huh? You're probably gonna steal it. Let's eat this sucker, boys, for the glory of the Supreme Gort.
They attacked me, but this time I was able to dodge some of the hits and fire energy blasts down at them until they were all defeated. That's one gang of hungry mercenaries defeated, but I still don't have my material. I need to keep searching. From day 32 to day 35, I continued searching around the weird and freaky Crimson Gardens, keeping my eye out for any potential snow leopards. Instead, I saw a snow golem who seemed a little worried and out of place. Maybe this is another victim of the Supreme Gort's tyranny. Time to see if I can help. I flew down and spoke to him.
I'm extremely lucky you came by. I'm a prospector, you see. Jeepers is the name, a searcher of minerals, and my partner, Emmanuel Camelmore, was here helping me with my mineral mining until he was captured and taken by the dastardly privateer, Thornwolf.
A kidnapping? Oh no. And wait, you guys mine materials? Like netherwart blocks?
Oh, I have that in spades. If you go to the Pointed Stone Forest and save him, in exchange, I'll give you the materials you seek.
That sounds like a good deal to me, Jeepers. From day 36 to day 39, I made the treacherous journey through the Pointed Stone Forest. It didn't take me long to find an impressive-looking compound in the middle of the forest. This must be where Jeepers' business partner, Mr. Camelmore, is being held hostage. And sure enough, I saw the terrifying Thornwolf patrolling around the compound, as fierce as his name suggested.
I can't wait to fight somebody today, especially if they try to get in.
Okay, this isn't gonna be easy. I'm stronger than I used to be, but I still don't want to charge into a direct fight with Thornwolf if I don't have to. Instead, maybe I'll fly in and enter from above. They're probably keeping Camelmore on the top floor. I might be able to save him without fighting anybody. Little did I know, this whole situation was a lot more strange than I could ever imagine. From day 40 to day 43, I put my infiltration plan into action. I flew up into the air and swooped down onto the top of the compound, avoiding being seen by Thornwolf. I used my pickaxe to dig through the top of the building, exactly as I'd planned, and jumped down into the top floor where Camomore was being hidden. I jumped to the rescue, but when Emmanuel Camomore saw me, he strangely didn't seem pleased to be rescued.
Wait, who are you? What are you doing in here?
I'm here to help you? Before I could ask any more questions, the Thornwolf burst in. He was even freakier looking up close.
You, get away from my client!
Client? More like hostage. We flew into battle, with me needing to give everything I had to stand a chance against the fury of the Thornwolf. But in the end, I came out on top. Just me and Camomore were left in the room.
You fool! You just destroyed my bodyguard!
Bodyguard? I beg your pardon? Before I could delve any further into this strange mystery, Jeepers, the snow golem, burst into the room and blasted Camomore with a firework crossbow, instantly destroying him. What? I thought he was your business partner.
He was indeed, old sport, but we had a falling out. He cooped himself in here and took half of the company's assets with him. I needed to take him out of the equation and reclaim sole ownership, which you helped wonderfully with. Sorry about the deception, but if it makes you feel any better, here's the materials I promised you.
He did indeed give me the material, making me feel very morally weird in the process. Yeah, thanks, I guess. From day 44 to day 49, I arrived back at my base with the material in hand, feeling extremely conflicted about how I had obtained it in the first place. But nonetheless, Amadeus was extremely pleased with my progress.
Even if you obtained it as a result of being an unwitting pawn in a duplicitous power struggle, it's still a victory that you got your hands on this, Zozo, and I'm extremely grateful to have it now.
I'm glad, Amadeus. That takes the edge off a little. Amadeus the armorer took the material and went off to get working. In the meantime, I was thinking about the bizarre incident that unfolded with Camomore at the Pointed Stone Forest. Maybe I should invest a little more heavily in home security. I mined up as much wood as I could and decided to build a perimeter wall around my base just in case the Supreme Gort came back with an army of snow leopards. It's extremely unlikely, but still, best to prepare for it and not need it, than need it and not have it. After I was done, Amadeus came over to excitedly show me how the statue was progressing. This looks absolutely amazing! If you know what it is, let me know down in the comments. I wonder if anyone will get it before I do. From day 50 to day 53, my base was surrounded by a company of ruthless snow leopard mercenaries.
Come out, criminals! We will gobble you up for the Supreme Gort! Gobble for Gort! Gobble for Gort!
They continued to chant as I used my tarantula hockey elytra to fly out and meet them in battle. I'm a flying spider monkey now. My energy blast rained down on the snow leopards, taking out a bunch of them in the process. Then, I slashed away at the rest of them with my iron sword, my armor protecting me from all the damage. Soon, there was no snow leopards left. Huzzah! I've avoided another punishment. I've got to tell Amadeus. I was about to leave when the Supreme Gort appeared in front of me, ready for battle.
I gort you now, spider monkey. Surrender to the law.
Never! I fired a couple energy blasts, then I sword fought with the Supreme Gort until he lost another of his extra lives. Alright, so much for that Gort. Bring on the next Gort. But the Gort was gone. He didn't respawn behind me. Where did he go? Did I get him? Just then, I saw Amadeus the Armorer being dragged away from the base by the Supreme Gort.
You are under arrest for forging illegal armors, associating with other lawbreakers, and worst of all, for revealing my weakness.
Do your worst, Supreme Gort. Zozo will take you down, along with the rest of your lives.
As if! Nothing can stop the Supreme Gort.
I ran over as fast as I could, but I couldn't stop the Supreme Gort from taking Amadeus away. No! If only I was more powerful. Next time, I'll get him for sure. My regrets and sadness swirled within me, unlocking new powers within my spider monkey form. 30 more hearts and the ability to warp a short distance. But would it be enough to rescue my friend someday? From day 54 to day 57, I was taking a swim to relax from the previous day. I hate this situation. My closest friend and ally has been kidnapped, and I'm here soaked and sad. It shouldn't be like this. While I was toiling away, Jeepers the Snow Golem arrived at my base.
Zozo, old chap. How have you been keeping?
Not great, honestly. A close friend of mine got kidnapped by the minions of the Supreme Gort. If I can't save him in time, he's probably gonna get executed, and then I'll be all alone out here, a sitting duck.
Then you're lucky I arrived. I'm still grateful for that nasty business you helped me out with regarding Thornwolf and Chamomore. In exchange, I've procured a gift for you.
That's when he gave me a strange little secret key. Oh, what's this?
It's a key into the Supreme Gort's jail. I figured you'd be using it to break out. Not in, but whatever works, right?
This is exactly what I needed. Using this key, I'm gonna save my friend. From day 58 to day 62, I decided that there was no victory to be found in just sitting around and moping about Amadeus being thrown into the Supreme Court's jail. Friendship is forever, and so are diamonds. It's time to get myself some diamond gear. I returned to the classic mining cavern, ready to nab myself some glittery goodies that give me an edge when I infiltrated the evil base to save my closest friend. But the last thing I expected to see was a vicious tortoise waiting in the mining cavern for me.
Ha, ha, ha. You fell right into my trap, Zozo. The Supreme Gort put a bounty on your head. I'm gonna claim the prize for myself.
He was truly a terrifying enemy, but lucky for me, he was also extremely slow. While he was moving so slowly towards me, I quickly ran in and mined up some of the diamonds I needed, then ran right past him with my spider monkey speed.
I'll get you next time, Zozo.
With the terrifying tortoise in my metaphorical rearview mirror, I was able to return to the base and use my diamonds to forge some awesome new gear. A diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. Supreme Gort, your days are numbered. From day 63 to day 66, I stared at the half-finished statue, thinking about all the good times that me and Amadeus spent together before the Supreme Gort took him. Amadeus, you taught me everything I know about this world. You taught me how to live outside the law without losing my sense of goodness. You taught me the greatest weakness of the Supreme Gort. You saved me, and now I'm gonna save you. And if you wanna save yourself from having a dull YouTube timeline, then you've gotta subscribe to Zozo for more awesome Minecraft adventure videos! From day 67 to day 70, I began my infiltration mission into the Supreme Gort's jail. I'm breaking in to rescue Amadeus. There were snow leopards guarding every entrance and patrolling the walls. You know, I never questioned it before, but where did he get so many of these guys? Did he create some kind of snow leopard reserve to make his army? Is that even legal? Well, I guess since he did it, that's all beside the point. I took out a couple leopard guards and warped inside the prison. The place was huge, clearly designed to hold hundreds, maybe even thousands of prisoners. And yet, it was also completely empty. Why did he build such a large prison if he just executes everybody anyway? Then, I remembered the Gort sword. He said he stole that from a former prisoner. Maybe he wants Amadeus to make him some armor, which he can then just call his own. It was a sinister plan. I believed the Supreme Gort was definitely capable of it, but because of his greed, I'd have a chance to save my Amadeus. Just hang in there a little bit longer, Amadeus. Your little buddy is on his way. From day 71 to day 74, I made my way deeper into the prison, horrified by the empty cells, each one built for a criminal that was never given a trial before being fed to snow leopards under the Supreme Gort's rule. I kept on searching for the cell that held Amadeus until I was suddenly face to face with the Supreme Gort himself. He was sparkling and looked like he meant business.
Breaking into my jail? Illegal! Your punishment will be dealt to you swiftly by my own 2 hands. So say I, the Supreme Gort.
That diamond armor, did you make Amadeus make that for you?
This old thing, ha! It's merely a mock-up for the Supreme Armor of Gort. Your criminal accomplice is currently in the dungeon workshop, slaving over a forge to make the real thing.
So he's alive! Good. You won't be for long. I battled the Supreme Gort, using my warp ability to sneak up behind him and slash him with my diamond sword. By now, I had fought this guy so many times that I was used to his attack patterns. I warped a short distance away from him and pelted him with energy blasts until he went down, dropping the full diamond armor on the ground. I know he's still got 5 lives left, but at least now I can keep him from equipping that diamond armor. I'll use it for myself. Once I put on the armor, I remembered what the Supreme Gort said about the workshop. I knew Amadeus was there, so I went to find it. From day 75 to day 78, I burst into the dungeon workshop like a big darn hero and found Amadeus the Armorer working at a pure evil, totally legal forge. Amadeus, I'm here to rescue you.
Good to see you, little buddy. I stalled for a time to make the Supreme Gort's armor because I knew you'd reach me before the rest of the 100 days were up.
Let's get you out of here. I freed Amadeus, and together we headed for the prison exit.
Zozo, there's something you need to know.
Don't worry about it. Save it for after we've escaped. I felt a chill on my back as the Supreme Gort appeared behind us. Go on! I shouted to Amadeus. I'll hold him off and catch up with you. Amadeus ran out the prison door and got far away from the horrible building.
You'll be punished even more for that one, Zozo! Nobody releases my prisoners. It's illegal!
Oh, please. Like you said, you can only punish me once, but you won't even get that far, Supreme Gort. We fought, and once again, I bested the Supreme Gort and caused him to be defeated. Ha! This just keeps getting easier. I'm gonna run away before he responds. From day 79 to day 84, the Supreme Gort respawned inside his prison and made his way to a secret room which housed the Supreme Armor of Gort. Amadeus had already completed it a few days ago, but he wasn't able to warn me about it. The Supreme Gort put the armor on, and its power transformed him into an even more powerful Supreme Gort.
I'm more Gort than anyone can handle now. Deal with my brand new "Don't Mess With Me" law. The punishment is getting totally thwopped by me in a fight to the doom.
From day 85 to day 89, I reunited with Amadeus at my base, and we hatched a scheme on what to do about the Supreme Gort's last 5 lives. Amadeus also filled me in on the whole deal with the Supreme Armor of Gort and how powerful it now made our common enemy.
Right now, taking even one more of his spawns would prove difficult. You're going to need an edge. Take this fire aspect enchantment for now. Well, I think of something.
Amadeus gave my diamond armor a Thorns enchanted book, which would deal damage to enemy mobs with every hit they made against me. Armed with that defense, I felt a bit more relieved and went to look at the statue, which Amadeus had already finished by the time I had gotten home. It was a statue of Spider-Man, the greatest superhero of all time, and an inspiration to any creature with spider in its name. Spider-Man always did what was right, even when the law turned against him. And now, the right thing to do is to defeat the Supreme Gort. I went back to Amadeus, who had made use of his extra time to think and formulate a way for me to win.
What if there was a way to take out all of the Supreme Gort's remaining lives in one go?
That would be perfect. Can we do that?
Only if you master the most forbidden technique there is. You must drink the lost potion of Wither and gain the ability to shoot Wither Skulls. It's the ultimate rule to break, but I think you can do it and still be a good guy.
Where can I find this Wither potion?
It was discovered and then forgotten by a dubious mining company in the Pointed Stone Forest. You can probably find them at their old hideout.
From day 90 to day 94, I returned to the scene of the crime. Well, one of them anyway. The building for the mining company that I had helped destroyed in a weirdly contentious side quest. Oh man, I still get chills thinking about that. As I explored the derelict mini base, I looked at many open rooms when I found a pit I descended down into. At the bottom of the pit, there was a storage area where I came upon the Wither Potion. Or rather, the only potion I could find. But it was, without a doubt, the Wither Potion! I'll be taking this. As I left the base, another group of snow leopards showed up to try and get me.
The Supreme Gort may only have 5 lives left, but you're about to get 8, or eaten, to be grammatically correct.
Thanks for confirming, but soon that number won't matter. I'll wither them all away. Hey! The snow leopards surrounded me. They were no match for the Thorns enchantment. I didn't even have to attack while my armor did all the work. I guess a good defense is the best offense. From day 95 to day 97, I could hear Amadeus the armorer hard at work on his greatest suit of armor yet. He made sure to put every bit of effort and skill that had earned him his infamous reputation into the material of the armor, and the end result was a mighty set of netherite armor that would rival the supreme armor of Gort.
I called this one the excellent armor of Zozo. It's yours to wear into battle from now until the end of your adventure.
Thanks, Amadeus. You've been the greatest friend that any spider monkey could have ever hoped for.
And you've been the greatest spider monkey a friend could ever hope for, Zozo. Good luck against the Supreme Gort. And remember, Amadeus the Armorer will always have your back.
On day 98, I wandered through the forest and admired all the beautiful trees, and thanked all of this channel's super cool subscribers for being so awesome and watching all of my great videos whenever I upload them. Make sure to search for more Zozo videos when you're done watching this one. No matter what he says, the Supreme Gort can't stop you from enjoying more of my adventures. On day 99, I was all armored up and ready for my final battle with the Supreme Gort. Who wouldn't expect this to be the day where the rest of his extra lives would go bye-bye? I never did find out what crime the Supreme Gort had charged me with, but I guess at this point, it doesn't matter. It's not about the destination, it's about the unfair rules you defy along the way. In the depths of the super prison, the Supreme Gort was waiting for me to arrive. He was wielding his Gort sword and wearing the supreme armor of Gort. It was a full Gort ensemble. I was ready for whatever his 5 remaining lives had in store.
Welcome to your doom, you rule-breaking little rule-breaker! I, the Supreme Gort, do declare that on this day, the 99th since I first sentenced you to punishment, you shall verily be disposed of with the full ferocity of the authority invested in me by the laws of this overworld and every Gort within it.
You talk a whole lot for somebody who is about to get withered away.
Withered away? What in Gort's name do you mean by that?
I drank the Wither Potion and received the forbidden powers within, becoming the ultimate spider monkey in both body and soul. I had 100 hearts and an infinite number of Wither Skulls to fire at my nemesis. It's time for the Gort to be adjourned.
What the Gort?
I shot 5 Wither Skulls at the Supreme Gort before he even had a chance to dodge. The skull-shaped projectiles pierced through his armor and instantly burned away every last one of his remaining stocks.
No! I, the Supreme Gort, cannot be destroyed! It's against the rules!
The thing about that is, you don't make the rules anymore. And just like that, the Gort was no more. On day 100, Amadeus and I celebrated the downfall of the Supreme Gort back at our base. We were now free to live our lives by our own rules, and with trust and respect for each other, I knew we'd made the right ones.
Care for some more armor, Zozo?
You know it, Amadeus. There's no rules against that. Just then, Jeepers the Snow Golem ran into the hideout looking totally frantic.
Zozo, you won't believe what has just happened. Thornwolf's brother has come to the Overworld in search of revenge. You gotta lend me a hand.
Actually, Jeepers, I still feel really bad about that, so I'm gonna let you handle it. Besides, the bad guy in this challenge was the Supreme Gort, and he's toast.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Jeepers left the base, and Amadeus and I returned to celebrating, and everything was better forever.